President Rajapaksa tells the All Ceylon Muslim Congress Party convention that the bond between all communities in independent Sri Lanka is now very powerful. The convention was organized at the Alankuda grounds in Puttalam. The President, in his address to the convention, said he is happy to see and meet the Muslim community. The community had so far lived in the country in amity. Terrorists attempted to shatter the harmony that existed between all communities within the country. But he emphasized that the bond of friendship between the communities is very strong. The President pointed out that efforts made by the terrorists to strain links between communities were totally unsuccessful. There is a peaceful environment prevailing in the country, and all civilians can now live without fear and suspicion. He assured that disastrous incidents such as the Kartankudi Mosque ordeal will not recur. The mutual relations between himself and the Muslim community are strong and secure. Development is taking place in the country. All citizens can equally reap its benefits. The President said he solicited the support of the entire nation, irrespective of all differences, for the success of the program mooted to build the country. The government has accepted the responsibility of the civilians hindered by terrorism. The President opined that the resettlement of these civilians in their places of origin is being accelerated. Muslim representatives, giving their views solemnly, pledged their unstinted support for the triumph of the President, who has assured to safeguard the rights of all communities immaterial of differences. President Rajapaksa, in a message marking National Safety Day, has said the day is commemorated to educate and sensitize the public about disasters, disaster mitigation, prevention and early warning. This, he said, will help them respond properly and strongly to disasters such as tsunami. The President also said December 26 marks the worst ever catastrophe the country experienced as a nation. He views the declaration of this day as the National Safety Day, a tribute to the pride of a great nation that stood as one in the face of disasters. The President pointed out that 2009 is a very significant year for the country for a number of reasons. The biggest achievement is to have been able to eliminate brutal terrorism. The second is the ability to establish an early warning culture capable of facing natural disasters. He commented that Sri Lanka can now boast of an efficient warning mechanism replete with state-of-the-art technology. National Safety Day is being observed today. This is a special program crafted to mark the occasion.
December 26th marks the 5th anniversary of the disastrous tsunami which unleashed a major destruction. Beyond our island nation, the catastrophe greatly affected our neighbors in the entire Asia-Pacific region. However, the nation was able to rebuild the country due to their firm determination of the people, although they were not able to restore the lives lost in this major disaster. With the help of foreign aid supporting the commitment of our own people, Sri Lanka rebuilt itself, brick by brick, stone by stone. This national renewal required a collaborative effort by all Sri Lankans. We take great pride in our resilience in the face of this tragedy. 5 years had passed away and the memory of the 2004 tsunami remains. The loss and devastation are indelibly ingrained in the collective consciousness of everyone. We have struggled to revive our economy, develop our infrastructure and rebuild our country. The entire nation remembered the victims, observing 2 minutes silence at 9:25 this morning. The national ceremony to mark National Safety Day was held at the auditorium of the Northwestern Provincial Council. It was presided by Prime Minister Lanka. The Prime Minister addressing the ceremony said disaster could be overcome if the entire nation played a responsible role, safeguarding the resources without going in for a program that would harm the country. He said, "Let us consider on such a day the responsibilities vested in us without being a burden to the country that we are born." He said, "Let us be determined to fulfill this task."
You're watching Prime News, and in other local stories, the 2 oldest aircraft in Sri Lanka take to the skies. These used to train pilots during the Second World War. SLAF Museum planned operation of the oldest aircraft in their fleet today in an air demonstration at the Ratmalana Air Base. The Tiger Moth and the Chipmunk TMK are 2 flying legends, fully restored to flying condition by a dedicated team of SLAF engineers and technicians. The Tiger Moth aircraft was originally built in 1937 at De Helliland Aircraft Company, located in England. The Tiger Moth aircraft was received from Ceylon Air Academy on 21st January 1982 in a poor state of disrepair and deterioration. The SLAF completed its rebuilding on September 1988 and was successfully flown on 18 September 1988. This is the oldest aircraft on display at the SLAF Museum. The Chipmunk was the first aircraft to enter into the service in 1951 as a basic trainer and phased out in 1985. At present, 2 aircraft are in fully airworthy condition. Saudi Arabia will issue permanent resident visas for wives and children of expatriate workers in the kingdom, sons considering their profession. The Al Yawm Arabic Daily reported that the news is a relief for many of the 7 million expatriate workers who are unable to bring their families on resident visas due to their profession written on their ikamas. The Foreign Ministry and the Recruitment Office only issued permanent resident and visit visas to those in white-collar jobs such as engineers, doctors and executives. The Al Yawm report said the ministry would only look at the financial status of the applicant. The source said the family visa is no more linked with profession. Over the past 3 weeks, the ministry's Riyadh office was issuing visit visas to all expatriate workers for their families without considering their profession. After hearing the news of the relaxation in visa rules, a large number of workers have begun approaching their missions in Riyadh and consulate in Jeddah to include names of their spouses in their passports. The massive road projects, which are launched countrywide under the Mahinda Chintana, is a strength to the reawakening economy. The Colombo-Katunayake Expressway is one such project which is in implementation to give a boost to the economy. Work on the project launched nearly a decade ago came to a halt. However, it is now taking place successfully under the Mahinda Chintana. The road from Paliagoda to the Katunayake International Airport is 25 kilometers in length. The total expenditure to be incurred is 15 billion rupees. With the completion of the work on this expressway, the time consumption to reach the airport will be limited only to 20 minutes. This super road is getting ready to join the mega development network via a significant zone in the country, adding another pioneering contribution to the national economy. On that note, we wind up the local segment of the news. Foreign news is up next on Prime World.